8 cheap tire brands. One size, one family crossover, one set of questions. 6 of them are going home. Here is what nobody tells you. Every one of these 8 tires carries the exact same wet traction grade on the sidewall, the letter A. The $89 tire from a factory you have never heard of, and the tire built inside the Michelin family. Same letter. So that letter is not what separates a safe tire from a bad one. Cheap is not automatically dangerous. That is the lazy answer. Some of the best value on the road right now is wearing a budget badge. But cheap absolutely can be dangerous. And what tells you the difference is who built the thing, how many miles they will sign for, and what the set really costs by the time it comes off the car. So we ran every brand through the same 4 ownership checks. Not a lab score, a simple question. Would we trust this on a family daily? Gate 1, wet stop. Gate 2, real miles. Gate 3, build truth. Gate 4, daily cost. Same 4 gates for all 8. No free pass for a famous parent, and nobody thrown out for sounding foreign. Same size on all of them, 225, 65, R17. Your RAV4, your CRV, your Rogue. Here is the field. Forceum, Sailun, Westlake, Nexen, Kelly, General, Laufen, Uni Royal. 2 of them are still standing at the end. Let us start where it hurts. Forceum Penta. About $89 a tire, and that is exactly why it is in a lot of driveways. When you are staring at a quote you did not budget for, the cheapest number is very loud. Now look at what it promises. The tread grade is 400, the lowest in this entire field. And the mileage the manufacturer will put in writing is 35,000. Also the lowest, and it is not close. 35,000 miles is a school run and a commute. 2, maybe 3 years for a normal family. Then you are back at the counter, paying again. This tire is not evil. It is simply the wrong tire for a car that has to stop hard in the rain every week and still be there in 4 years. Gate 1 closes, 7 remain. If you want tire comparisons built around what it costs to own the thing, instead of what the brand paid to advertise it, subscribe to AutoVerdict. Sailun Terramax HLT, about $93. And this one is more interesting because on paper it looks like a real step up. The tread grade jumps to 600. That is a serious number. That is better than the Laufen we are going to talk about later. But here is where it falls apart. That 600 grade says this rubber should last a long time. And then the warranty behind it only backs 50,000 miles. The grade and the promise do not agree with each other. When a company grades its own rubber high and then quietly refuses to stand behind it for the same distance, believe the warranty. The warranty is the number they have to pay for. Gate 2 closes, 6 remain. Westlake 4A. About $103, tread grade of 600, and 55,000 miles in writing. Honestly, that is a fine-looking card. If we stopped at the numbers, this tire would still be alive. But Gate 3 is not about numbers. It asks a different question. When this tire is 4 years old and there is a problem, who is on the other end of that phone? The answer here is a Chinese manufacturer with no engineering parent behind the brand and no reputation in this market it is afraid to lose. That is not an insult. It is a risk you are taking on, and you should know you are taking it. Gate 3 closes, 5 remain. Now this next one is going to make some of you angry, and I want to be very clear about why it is leaving. Nexen Rodian HTX. About $108, tread grade of 640, 65,000 miles promised. Those are the second best numbers of anything we sent home today. On cost per mile, it beats one of our 2 survivors. This is not a bad tire. Let me say that again because the comment section is already typing. This is not a bad tire. If it is on your car right now, you did not make a mistake. It leaves because of the filter we agreed to run on all 8. This is its own company. There is no Michelin, no Continental, No Han Kook underneath it, absorbing the research and eating the cost of a bad batch. We said no brand gets a free pass on Gate 3, which means no brand gets a special exemption either. Gate 3 closes. 4 remain. Quick one. Comment below which cheap brand is on your car right now and how many miles you actually got out of them. Not what the box said, what you got. Kelly Edge Touring Plus, about $135. And now we are into the good parents. Kelly is a Goodyear brand. That is a real company with real engineering behind it. So it walks through Gate 3 without breaking stride. Tread grade of 680, 65,000 miles in writing. This is a legitimate tire. Then it hits Gate 4, and Gate 4 does not care about your last name. A set of 4 runs you about $540 against 65,000 promised miles. That works out to $8.30 for every 1,000 miles you are covered for. And that is worse than the Sailun we threw out at Gate 2. You are paying Goodyear money and getting mid-pack miles. A good parent is not a free pass. Gate 4 closes. 3 remain. Now, if you have watched any tire video in the last 2 years, you already know which tire you expect to see standing at the end. So let us talk about it. General Altimax R T45. This is the internet's answer to everything. Continental owned. Tread grade of 700, tied for the best here. 75,000 miles in writing, also tied for the best. It sails through Gate 1. It sails through Gate 2. Gate 3 does not even slow it down because Continental is exactly the kind of parent this test is looking for. And then you look at the price. About $167 a tire, $668 for the set. Run that against the 75,000 miles it promises, and you get $8.91 per 1,000 miles, which means the tire everybody recommends costs you more per mile than 6 of the 8 tires in this test. It costs you more per mile than the Westlake we threw out for having no parent at all. I want to be careful here because this is a good tire. Nothing about that build is wrong. It is priced wrong for what it gives you back, and that is a different problem, and it is the one that actually comes out of your account. Gate 4 closes. 2 remain. If that one surprised you, subscribe. That assumption is exactly the thing this channel exists to check. So who is left? Survivor number 1, Uni Royal Tiger Paw Touring, about $114 a tire. Uni Royal is an old American name, and most people have no idea it lives inside Michelin now. Tread grade of 700, tied with the General we just eliminated. 75,000 miles in writing, also tied with it. Same specs, $53 a tire cheaper. Run the math and it comes out at $6.08 per 1,000 covered miles. That is the cheapest mile in this entire test, and it is attached to the longest promise in this entire test, backed by the biggest tire company in the world. That is not a compromise. That is just the correct answer. Survivor number 2, Laufin G-Fit AS, about $105 a tire. Laufin has been a Han Kook brand since 2014, and that is the whole story. This is Han Kook engineering wearing a budget badge, sold to people who did not know to look. Its tread grade is 500, and that is the lowest number of anything still standing. I am not going to pretend otherwise. But 60,000 miles is a real promise. $7 flat per 1,000 miles is real value. And there is a genuine tire company absorbing the risk behind it. If your budget stops before the Uni Royal, this is where you land, and you land softly. Final board. Out early, on where and on price. Forceum, Sailun, Westlake. Good numbers, wrong ownership or wrong price. Nexen, Kelly, General, safe for a family daily. Uni Royal, best safe value. Laufin, best hidden premium. And the thing to take with you is that first number we started with. All 8 of these carried the same traction letter. A, every one. That letter never told you which of these to buy, and it was never going to. What told you was who owned the brand, how many miles they would sign for, and what a mile actually cost. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Next time we are taking 3 premium brands and running them through the same 4 gates, and I do not think all 3 survive.